Did you see the improvement that Layman did on your defense
In
side?
improvement that who now?
On the defensive side.
Well, the one area that we did improve in was tackling. I thought we reduced the number of missed tackles. I mean, certainly there are some, but there wasn't abundant numbers like there were before. So, we're real pleased to see us improve in that area. And the other thing we improved in, Chuck, was takeaways. You know, in any road game, in order to be successful, you have to win the turnover battle. And we talked about that going in, and I thought we did a good job of getting our hands on the football. We got it twice. We need to at least get it one or two more times to be successful. But there was some improvement in the tackling area and takeaways.
Coach, your two linebackers I thought played very well. Gates has been pretty steady all season, and you start being Dukes. Are you pleased with that group now going forward as your first teamers?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Gates has really been playing very well, as you just stated. Been consistent. I think he's playing with good play speed. You can see his play strength. The one thing he's doing, he's playing with great awareness. I really love his awareness. Bean Dukes, his playing is good. And one thing we got to be careful when we really now looking at the defensive staff, let's make sure that we're asking these guys to do something they can do. So we got to continue to figure out to keep Bean Dukes out of space. And when he's inside the box, you see he thrives. But when he has to get outside of the box, like the very first play of the game, where he missed that tackle, and we just got to be careful. Hey, are we asking him to do something he can do? But we're really pleased with the way Gates is playing. Ben Dukes did a lot of good things. Now as coaches, let's pay attention to his assets and stay away from his liabilities.
When teams are going to that quick passing game that you talked about Saturday night, how can you combat that? Is there a way that you can pressure that game in spite of the quick release?
Well, it's really a challenge to get to the quarterback and doing a quick game because you're getting the ball out, getting the ball out so fast. The thing that you have to do is maybe play a little bit more inside leverage with the guys in the back end and the D lineman to get their hand up, to restrict the throwing lanes. But that's just one instance in football where the players got to win some one-on-one battles. Now, listen, I'd rather give up 10 slants than one deep ball. And that's the one thing I told them on the sideline. If it's catch tackle, let's catch tackle them. And let's see if they got enough patience to drive the ball down the field. They did a tremendous job in the quick game, I must add. But the thing that we want to do is make sure that we don't overplay the quick game and get that double move. And now we're down another 7 points. But I want to see us challenging the quick game a lot more and let it be, some pass breakups. 15 had a great one on the 3rd and 2 where they threw a slant. He got a pass breakup. We certainly don't like the quick game, giving up that much, but it's certainly better than giving up one over the top and giving up the big play.
Coach, Marquise Haynes hasn't done a lot from a production standpoint in the stat category, but what have you seen as a leadership role from him so far this season?
Well, he's making the plays he should make. The thing that you want to see him more is that you want to see more sacks. I mean, that's what 3 other fans and that's what 3 of the media and 3 of us as well. You want to see him get to the quarterback and get more sacks, but it's not necessarily he has not been productive. He has not been able to get to the quarterback. If you look at the ball games we played, we've created our own demons in that regard. The first 2 games, we struggled stopping the run, and so he didn't have an opportunity now to rush the passer. Last ball game, they came out with a quick game, and which now the ball's out before we can get to the quarterback. So we have to force him to get into long yardage to give him an opportunity to get to the second level. And going into this game, our game plan was, let's win some one-on-one battles. Let's not pressure as much in this game. And, let's see can we win 3rd down that way. We won some 3rd downs without having to, unload the gun, so to speak. But he's been very productive. And now he's one of the guys that we're looking at this week to make sure that, hey, are we asking him to do something that he can't do? Are we being creative enough to get him in space in some one-on-ones? So we're studying that right now and making sure that moving forward we're doing that. Not only with him, but with several other players.
Coach Luke said something about 2 or 3 times needing more awareness of down and distance. How do you coach that? I mean, how do you get that across?
Well, from the beginning of training camp, or if you even go back to spring training, one thing that we want to make sure we coach up is situational football. You know, it's 3rd and 19, it's 3rd and 1. And so you have to just continue to go out every week. Make sure you have the yard markers out. Show them, hey, it's 12 personnel, it's 3rd and 1. And he's exactly right. There was 2 situations in the game that Chuck, that we got to be smart enough. We got to win situation in football. 3rd and 19, and we got them backed up. And we go to cover 2. And I got the middle linebacker standing 8 yards looking at the check down. Let them have that check down. We'll come up and tackle that. But get back and don't let the ball get thrown over our head. Gates was all over the receiver. The quarterback made a great throw, but if the Mike linebacker's back in the paint, knowing it's 3rd and 19, give up 10 yards but don't give up 20. And we're off the field on that 3rd and 9. And we have great field position for offense to go back out and possibly not just get a touchdown, but maybe a field goal. Anything could happen at that point if we win that situation. And then we got 3rd and 2, and we call the tag where we pressing the quarterback. And then we got the safety now lines about 6 yards. Not only did he line about 6 yards, which is fatal, at the snap, he backed up, giving him access to the chain. So we just have to be more aware of situation football, and the best way is just keep putting them in that situation, show it to them on video how critical it is, and maybe it'll go off in their mind, hey, we got to win this situation.
Coach, let's fast forward to Alabama. They got a quarterback that really would rather run it than throw it. What will change as far as pass rush against this guy?
You want me to give you our game plan, right? You want me to give you the game plan right now? Well, certainly we're getting ready now to play against our outfit that have the skill set in a lot of different positions where if you make mistakes, you don't count for them, they can capitalize on it. And so now with this quarterback, we're going to have to put a safety down, to make sure now once he come out of zone read, we matching skill on skill. We may change up on the zone read, if you will, who has a quarterback and who has a dive. So we're looking at different things schematically, and it goes back to what we talked about earlier. Are we asking a player to do something he can't do? We got to make sure we have the right guy on this quarterback, because if we have a guy that's not as athletic as him, then all we're doing is asking for a long day. So we're going to be smart, make sure we account for him, and load the box up and start to run and say, hey, let's see you throw the ball a little bit. So we definitely going to challenge his skill set and be in the box and try to answer the run before we can get started, because he can certainly win the ball game with his legs. He's a tremendous athlete, and we think he's better with the ball in his hand.
Wesley, Ken Webster didn't play a whole year.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Ken Webster didn't play a whole year because of his injury last year. Just what have you seen from him, in his 2 games back?
Well, I'll tell you what, this past football game against Cal, Ken Webster played a phenomenal game. I mean, you look at him out on the edge. Even when there was times when the ball didn't come his way in press coverage, man, you see his patience, his eye discipline, his hand placement, real strong hands at the line of scrimmage, staying over top of the receiver. There were several times where he pressed receivers out of bounds, just erased them from that side of the field. You saw him insert himself on the run on the screen, making a tackle for a loss. I mean, he almost had a great interception on the dive where he did a tremendous job of reading the quarterback and going for the ball. But he's been playing phenomenal. And that's one thing that we talked about, that he's playing good enough as a starter. So we got to look at when he's coming in the game and get him in the game maybe with the starting rotation, because he's certainly earning it. He's playing phenomenal right now.